Mount's just trying to clip that towards Harry Kane at the far post. So he just hits the top of the ball, bobbles it into the turf.
And England, having been under the cosh for quite a little while, have a corner here. In by Mount, out by Soberslide, back by Bowen. Always rising.
He's never really going to threaten the goal. People will say it's the end of a long season. England players have had a lot of games, especially those that played in the Champions League. This is international football. But there is no excuse. The tempo has not been there. The effort levels to close down, pace of the game has not been there. This is far too easy for Hungary now.
Bellingham. Bowen. Kane. Solo quick to point out that it struck him on the chest.
Those players to go and attack the ball, give them time so they can adjust to the flight of the ball, rather than just hope that it hits them on the head. Because that's what it is when it goes in with such pace.
By Alexander-Arnold. Away at some personal cost. There was
a penalty,
but I have a feeling he may have.
Really?
James clashing with Naj. It's a clean take of the ball. There's a natural collision thereafter.
I don't think that's a penalty.
Well, there can of course be a VAR check.
The referee surely has to go and look at this.
Well, the very young crowd here in Budapest are, understandably enough, excited by the prospect of a penalty, but Reece James is utterly baffled.
And I'm not surprised. Looks like it might be check over.
And
oh, hang on, the referee's just put his finger to his ear.
Dominik Szoboszlai is behind the ball for Hungary. Jordan Pickford, who has been in superhuman form for his club, now needs to find a moment for his country. Szoboszlai nails it neatly into the bottom corner and establishes a lead for Hungary over England.
Those young fans absolutely delirious. A really good penalty. Forget about whether it should have been one or not. Struck it incredibly well. Big expectations, a lot of pressure on him at that point. All those young fans delighted to see one of their heroes score. He stays calm. He stays focused. Inches inside the post, almost impossible to save for Jordan Pickford.
Dominik Szoboszlai, who a couple of years ago scored one of the most important goals in the recent history of Hungary, a last-minute playoff. Never the source of an equaliser. England could do with one pretty promptly.
You have to say, on the balance of play, it's not an unfair scoreline. I just think the way the penalty was awarded, I still have my doubts if that's a penalty. I think from a player's perspective, you always look to see what the players do. Nobody appealed for a penalty.
Bellingham. James. Maguire. Bowen! Caught it well enough, but right down the goalkeeper's throat.
Difficult chance. Decides to go with his left foot. does well to make connection. That's a really difficult skill to do. Often you either slice that way over the bar, get right underneath it, or drag it really far wide. The connection was good. Unfortunately for him, it was straight at the goalkeeper.
Stones and Soloy not hitting it off from the outset. Grealish. Saka. Spooned up towards Kane. And rattled goalward by Bellingham. And wrapped up by Gulacsi.
Good save, good defending. It might even have been a little foul in there from Harry Kane. We get to see the replay here, just there. Look, I wonder if that had have gone in, whether VAR might have looked at it for a little push. But there's enough blocks in the end to take all the sting out of the shot from Bellingham.
So again, England penalty shootout aside, unbeaten in 22 games over the course of a year and a half, just more.
And they had some really good performances, you know, within that. Sadly, this hasn't been one of them.
Rice.
Sometimes you can play very, very well and you can get beat. You know, that's football. It's what happens. Not been the occasion this evening. England haven't played well.
Grealish for Saka.
And hits the back corner of the net.
Gathered by Bellingham. Moved on by James. England's throw. Bellingham's gone over. Referee happy with that challenge. Martin Adam. James. Bowen. 5 minutes of stoppage time. Would you cut Jarrod Bowen some slack in that assessment as a debutant? He's had his moments, hasn't he?
He's done okay, but he's got in positions. He's had, what, 3-4 chances? At this level, you've got to score. You don't... If you're playing against Italy, Spain, Germany in the Euros or a World Cup or Brazil or Argentina, you're not getting 4 chances to put the ball in the back of the net. You might get 2 if you're very, very lucky within 90 minutes. You've got to be clinical. And that's what sets the best from the rest, really. It's an unfair example, but out of those 4 chances, Cristiano Ronaldo probably scores 3, however difficult they are.
Stones. James.
Harry Kane probably scores at least 2 or 3 of them as well. And that's not being critical of Jarrod Bowen. That's just how it is.
Stones. James again. Pickford's joining in now. That's the stage of the game we've reached. Maguire kept from it. And they go away. Calvin Phillips competed and the decision's gone against him.
Yeah, just go back to that. I think Jarrod Bowen's he's played okay. But if you're looking to say, I should definitely be going to Qatar, you've got to put a couple of those chances away. That's the big difference. Elite sport, elite football, it's a very fine line between success and not success. Don't like the word failure.
Stars through the middle here for Hungary. Some dip from distance, but Pickford is comfortably equal to that. And he launches it towards Kane. Grealish goes biting in.
And look at the confidence that Hungary have got now, because England allowed them to do that in the first half. They allowed them to have the ball. They didn't put them under too much pressure.
Maguire won the ball back. Kane kept it very ably. Rice squeezed it on. Reece James. 3 minutes into 5 added on. James. From Calvin Phillips came to nothing. It looks as though it's going to get away for England, who are certainly not in a losing habit, nor do they want to adopt one now. But in theory, this was the weakest opponent in the group.
Got to bounce back very, very quickly, haven't they? Big game coming up against Germany. You would suggest it's going to be even harder than this one.
Germany and Italy meet in Bologna tonight. England go to Munich on Tuesday. And the cards arriving thick and fast as well. Maguire and then James. A minute to play. We're still ambitious for more. Fiola. Well, the flag will do now. Corner, even better than that.
Bowen was a little unlucky. Chased him all the way back. And just got the final touch, and be very, very surprised now if Hungary don't keep it here. Might be a foul, might go another corner throw in, but I can see this killing the game off.
What a feather in the cap of Marco Rossi. This is a headline win for him.
And it's not been a lucky win in any way, shape or form. They've matched England. They've been better than England at times.
England's throw, and they've got seconds left to launch it.
Not sure they'll have time.
It is a famous, famous night in Budapest as Hungary beats England.